Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar on Doc 365's contract management solution. My name is Ben Senjum, and I'm a collaboration specialist with Doc 365. Here's a quick overview of today's webinar. I will start off by sharing a little bit about who we are and discuss why businesses need contract management, including the benefits of having a solution like ours. Then we'd like to roll into Doc's live CMS demo environment. And then lastly, we'll have a Q&A session at the end where you can ask your questions in the chat, or you can just ask using your microphone. We'll also have Joe with us today to answer any technical questions you may have during the Q&A. Doc 365 is a Microsoft certified gold partner specialized in business productivity, employee communication, and collaboration solutions. With 16 years of experience in building custom solutions on Microsoft platforms, we have created a productivity platform leveraging Microsoft Office 365 and SharePoint. Many of the organizations that came to Doc for help were not able to tap into Office 365's vast potential for employee communication, collaboration, and document management. We help organizations to better utilize the investment they made with Office 365 and reduce IT costs by consolidating your IT solutions under one platform. Doc 365 began by building completely custom intranets for companies from the ground up. Over the years, we listened to our customers' needs and began to develop more solutions to work off their Office 365 environment. So here's an overview of some of the solutions which are currently a part of our platform. Our pre-built, customizable intranet portal can be deployed within 4 to 6 weeks and comes complete with a mobile app. We have an expert implementation team with PMP certified project managers that makes deploying your site painless, and they will work with you step by step to deploy your ideal intranet site. We also offer a project management solution that can be used to manage your marketing projects or any other project to collaborate with team members and task management. Our contract management solution stores your contracts and simplifies the approval process electronically through workflow templates and can notify the owner when contracts expire. The HR system helps to keep track of your employee data and allows you to automatically send email packets for employee onboarding and offboarding and automates tasks for HR. The learning management solution helps your internal training needs by easily uploading course content and automatically assigning courses to individuals or groups. Employee performance management solution helps your organization to manage employee performance evaluation and automate the evaluation process. In addition to these solutions, we also have help desk system, asset management system, and expense reporting application. And we are also working on a CRM as well as a marketing automation system, which are slated to be released within the next few months. All right, so without a contract management system, it's easy to miss deadlines and the paperwork can be pretty overwhelming. But not all solutions are created equal. You want to be careful just getting any CMS. With a poorly developed CMS, you can still have security risks, misplaced agreements, missed renewal dates, broken processes, and out of compliance contracts. It's important to see what other software solutions can do and all the features they should include. For example, if you have Office 365, it is best to go with the CMS that is going to invest in the Microsoft ecosystem to help improve your return on investment and integrate seamlessly what you already use. You want these programs to collaborate just as you do with your employees. Some CRM systems will be forced to fit and your operations will have to be built around their system. So what exactly can you gain from getting a great CMS? Better efficiencies and risk management, improve financial optimization, increase contract visibility, enhance search capabilities, assured contract compliance, simplified sign-off through DocuSign and Workflow Engine, and maximize security. Some of the features a good CMS can offer: single sign-on. Without single sign-on, going into your intranet would be like setting up a new computer each day. With a single sign-on within the Microsoft Office 365 environment, users will have profile-based access to all their applications. This helps increase intranet usability, eliminating the need for multiple user accounts, and helps with an overall user experience. Having a place to store contracts seems like a no-brainer, but being able to properly store and search your contracts is what makes the difference. For example, by using Power BI, you can use a 360 view for contracts. Easily create, publish, and share interactive reports across all your devices. So which tools can you use? The obvious ones that are most used are items like Word and Excel, but how about Teams for collaboration, or Yammer to engage the entire organization? Integrate what you need into your CMS to make your workday easier. Microsoft Office is at the peak of security with things like multi-factor authentication, audit trails, encrypted email, and dedicated admin users. Your contracts are safe and sound. Also, in the possibility of such things as hurricanes, just like we did near Jacksonville, or other natural disasters, imported documents are always available with SharePoint backup and restore. Organizations big and small can take advantage of contract management and Office 365. They're built to handle all types of organizations and all the changes they entail. This is especially helpful for growing companies, knowing they don't have to change their entire work process when they grow too large. We want companies to grow bigger and become more successful, and contract management should help you, not hinder you. For employees to be able to access contracts through the Microsoft Office interface at the same time makes for easy collaboration. Employees can edit documents and see updated versions. This stops possibility of an old version going out and causing issues. It's not just for the internal team either. You can also collaborate with internal parties. Just share the documents through the secure guest links. So by using SCMS and Office 365, you'll be able to standardize the contract process, and this allows for less manual tasks, a more convenient workflow, and less mistakes. So with that said, we'll go ahead and jump into the contract management. So this is the main contract management dashboard. It gives you kind of a breakdown of all your contracts and vendor information, things like that. So right here on this bar, you'll see contracts expiring within 30 days. You can see there's only one expiring. This bar will give you the total value of all of your contracts. This is 1.27 million. This will be the total number of active contracts that you currently have. This will be the total number of active vendors that you have as well. Down here is a bar graph giving you a monetary value of your contracts, which is broken down by department. A little bit further down is the pie chart. This will break down contracts by type, so bilateral contract, fixed price contract, implied contract, and unilateral contract. It's an interactive chart as well, so when you click them, you can see the data change. Contracts by stage over here. It shows in progress, draft, approved, and rejected, also interactive. Over here on the left tab, you'll see the breakdown, contracts, vendors, reports, and then of course we have settings, which we'll show you a little bit later. So we'll jump into the contracts portion. This is a layout of all the contracts, active contracts that you have. It shows the contract number, which is an automatic number that's generated when you create a new contract. You have the contract name, the vendor, the type of contracts, if it's fixed priced, implied, unilateral. Here's the stage the contract's in, the status, the owner, the effective date, expiring date, and then you can assign a risk to it, and then the value of the contract. If we go here, we can search for particular contracts. We can also show in this bar here, we can show contracts expiring within a certain amount of days. So these are contracts expiring within the next year. And we can also filter through as well. So if you're looking for contracts that are in a particular stage, maybe, you'll be able to filter through that. Or maybe you're looking for high risk contracts. You'll be able to see those populate. Of course, you can search by departments, locations, effective dates, expiring dates, and the amount as well. I'll show you how to make a new contract and make new vendors. First, I'll just show you how the vendor portion looks. So this is obviously the vendor, similar concept to the contracts. You can search through if you're looking for a particular contract, and you'll be able to filter through as well. Much like the contracts, you can look for, if you happen to know the vendor number, vendor name, or maybe the type of service, the risk associated, the status of the vendor, maybe the contact name within the vendor. If you know the phone number, email address of the vendor as well, you can find them that way. So we'll go ahead and create a new vendor. So I'll simply click the Add Vendor button right here. And so we'll say Doc Computer. We'll say it is a software service. The contact name, we could say Brian Smith. We'll say the address for the company is 500 Atlantic Boulevard, Neptune, Florida, 32266. All right, so just some fictitious address there. Give it a phone number, and then you punch in an email address. And then we can give it a rating here. We'll say we'll give them a 5-star. We'll say the risk is low. And you could add vendor notes if you'd like. So we can save that. If we want to add documents associated with the vendor as well, we could do that. You simply just click the Add Document button, and that'll populate here. You can click this button to view the document, and you can also erase the document right here. And you'll be able to search through to the documents if you have quite a few of them as well. Under contacts, obviously you can add associated contacts to this vendor. So we could say Brian Smith. Let's give him an email address. And then we can give Brian a phone number here. And you'll see his information pop up right there. You can edit it by hitting this pencil button as well. And then here's a list of where you would see all the contracts associated with the vendor. So we'll go ahead and create a contract by clicking the Contracts tab here. We'll add contracts. We'll call this Computer Purchasing. And then here is the vendor that we just created, .computer. So we'll select that. We'll say it's a fixed price contract. We'll give it an effective date starting today. And we'll give it about 1 year. And we'll select the department associated with this contract. We'll say IT, because it's computer purchasing. We'll say that Joe is the owner. So before the contract expires, Joe will get an email notification that the contract is expiring. And the contract amount will say $15,000. And the annual amount as well. We'll say it's a low risk, and then we'll associate this, say we have an office in California. And then we can add a comment if we'd like as well. And here's where you'll be able to select a preset workflow template. These are templates that you'll make yourself. I'll go ahead and we'll make a workflow to see how that works, and then we'll go ahead and assign that contract to workflow. So to make workflow, we'll just jump into settings right here. And then we'll go down to workflow templates. And we'll click the plus button to add a new workflow. So for the title, we'll say computer purchasing. You'll have the option to auto apply to new contracts. When you do that, you can specify the location that should apply, the type of contract, and then you can set parameters such as the amounts equal to, greater than, or less than a certain amount as well. So I'll just take that off for now. And then we'll do the use workflow level approval type. You can either only one of the approvers' approval is required from each stage, or you can do all approvers' approval is required. So for this example, we'll just go ahead and select this. If I wanted to add a document to this particular workflow, you can do that. And for this example, we'll say that 3 people need to approve computer purchasing. We'll say the first stage, Joe would need to approve it. And we'll leave a note anytime this workflow is used. And we'll give Joe 2 days to approve. And then for the second approval, we'll say that Adele needs to approve it. And she's kind of busy, so we'll give her a little bit more time. We'll give her 4 days. And then the last stage, we'll say that Alex needs to be the final approver. And then he's very busy, so we'll give him 7 days. So we'll go ahead and save this workflow. Okay, so now that that's created, we'll go back into our contracts over here. And we'll see computer purchasing, which we just created. So we'll jump into this contract. We'll pull over the workflow tab over here. And then we'll add the workflow. And you can see right here the workflow that we've already created. So we'll go ahead and select this one. And it's just going to take a second to initialize that. And then you'll be able to see the documents associated with the workflow here. So I'm currently logged in as Joe, who happens to also be an admin. I'll go ahead and start the workflow. We'll just take it a second to generate. And you can see the notes for the approvers here. I can also leave a note here. And then I'll go ahead and add the comment. So you'll see that populate down here. And then as I'm logged into Joe, I'll have the option to approve or need more information. So that'll get the contract owner will get a notification saying that more information is required. And then I have the option to reject the contract. So we'll go ahead and approve the contract. We'll confirm that. And then it's going to go ahead and send that over to Adele to review, and then Alex after that. So within the contract here, of course, we can add additional contracts if we'd like. So it'll just populate right here. Just like the vendor, you can click this, it'll populate the document with this button right here. We can delete them. You can see history versions. And then we can also search through documents as well. If we want to make a note on the contract, we can update that. There it goes. All right, so it'll populate it right there. And then we can go into the history tab of the contract, and you'll be able to see anything that's really been done in the contract, any comments, things like that. So now we can jump over to the reports tab. This is basically just a breakdown of all the reports that you can generate within the CMS. So if we did the contract report type right here, you'll get a breakdown of all the parameters you can essentially filter by. You know, if you wanted to look for high risk, Obviously, you'd see all these populate here. You'd be able to export these into like Excel or a CSV. And you'd be able to see all that information, all the fields populate into an Excel spreadsheet. Okay. And then if we go into settings here, of course, you can edit some of the parameters such as vendor settings. So this is the automatic numbering. So when you create like a new vendor, it'll create a prefix, which you can change, and then the indexing, and you can change that. You can add more types of service. So you can see the different services. If you wanted to add a new one, you would just simply click that button and then add a title, and then you'd be able to select that next time you make a new contract or something like that. Contract types, you can add new contract types as well. Basically, if you wanted to add more fields to really anything, you got risk, departments, locations, the permission groups. So if you wanted to add certain users to particular groups. If you wanted to see who's in the I2 owner group, you could do that, or that's the add button. If you wanted to see who's in the I2 group, you could click that. It'll show everybody that's inside of that group. And if you wanted to add somebody, you simply just click that blue button, and then you could add somebody here if you'd like. And it'll add them. Okay, so that is the main gist of our contract management solution. We'd like to go ahead and open up any questions. If you'd like to enter them into the chat, please feel free to do so. If you'd like to use your microphone, you're welcome to do that as well. Once again, we have Joe with us to answer any technical questions that you might have. So I'll just let anybody answer or ask any questions they'd like. Okay, so we have a question says, does this only work with vendors? I'm not sure if you're asking if you can change the field. Joe, did you want to answer that question?
I'm not sure about the question. So this is, yeah, I mean, this contract management specifically for vendors, not customer project, customer contracts. It's mostly, this is for vendor contracts. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so hopefully that answers your question there. Is it possible to set up an approval hierarchy based on contract value?
Yes, so you can create multiple workflows based on the value, and you can really have different approval process for each workflow. Yes, you can do that.
Okay. Does this CMS system help with the negotiating of an agreement?
I mean, this is to manage your contract approval process, things like that, and also, of course, it really helps you to really look back and look at how what was your contract previous years. If you had similar type of services from other vendors, how much you paid for it, things like that. So you can really find historical data about your contracts easily using our CMS system. So instead of really guessworking, you always have access to your historical data to negotiate with vendors better.
Well, this concludes today's webinar on Doc 365's contract management. And if you'd like to set up a demo or discuss further, you can email me at ben@mydoc365.com. And please join us for our next demo on October 8th on Power Apps and SharePoint Forms. And we hope everybody has a great day. Thanks.